And I will be like Mother Mary, with a blessing in my soul. And I will give the world my eyes so they can see. And I will be like Mother Mary, with a blessing in my soul, and the future of the world inside of me. In the eyes of heaven, my place is assured. I carry with me heaven's grand design. Gloria, gloria, I will sing the name of the Lord, and He will make me shine. And I will be like Mother Mary, with a blessing in my soul. And I will give the world my eyes so they can see. And I will be like Mother Mary, with a blessing in my soul, and the future of the world inside of me. And I will be like Mother Mary, with the power in my veins to believe in all the things I've yet to be. And I will be like Mother Mary, and I'll suffer any pains for the future of the world, for the future of the world inside of me.
Yeah! That was real popular last week, eh? Yeah, that's fine. What's it is everywhere? What's this? Upon this moment, upon this people, upon this place, the holy comes, and sacred knowing brings sacred being, for sacred doing of God's plan. Upon this moment, upon this people, upon this place, the holy comes, and sacred knowing brings sacred being, for sacred doing of God's plan.
Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. Come in where we welcome the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted. All of you can find a home here at Throop, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena and from the heart of our homes. Welcome and happy Sunday to those of you joining us on live stream. This month's worship series is called Reflecting the Sacred, and all month we're delving into the stories that surround us about the welcoming back of light in this time of stillness and darkness. If you're new to Throop today, we would love to stay in touch with you, and you can fill out an info card that you'll find in the back of the pew if you're in the room. If you're online, Steve will put a link to the online guest book in the chat. We're so glad you're with us this morning.
Upon this moment, upon this people, upon this place, the holy comes, and sacred knowing brings sacred being, for sacred doing of God's plan.
Each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. We pray for peace this day. We open to see the sacred reflection in all things. We open to see our deepest selves as a gift of holy presence, lighting the way to peace. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop was once and is still the home of the Gabrielina Tongva band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into seeking justice and equity for all. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. May we take a moment of silence holding all of these in our hearts.
And breathing into the light and into the space, we hear our opening hymn. It's number 1008 in that teal hymnal, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place. If you would like, I invite you to rise as body and spirit allow. If you want to sing with your fellow parishioners, you're encouraged to do that. Suggested that you wear a mask. And if you're joining us online, we hope you're singing along with us.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us and ignoring other creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place.
Take a moment, turn to your neighbor, and welcome them into this holy place.
those words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power in each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Why Not a Star is our responsive reading this morning, and the words from the congregation will be, we are called to reflect the sacred each and every day. Let's try that together. We are called to reflect the sacred each and every day. They told me that when Jesus was born, a star appeared in the heavens above, where the young child lay. When I was young, I had no trouble believing wondrous things. I believed in the star. It was a wonderful miracle, part of a long ago story foretelling an uncommon life. We are called to reflect the sacred each and every day. Then they told me a supernova appeared in the heavens in a dying burst of fire. When I was older and believed in science and reason, I believed in the story of the star explained. We are called to reflect the sacred each and every day. But I found I was unwilling to give up on the story of the star, a fitting symbol for the birth of one whose uncommon life has been long remembered. The star explained became the star understood for Jesus, for Buddha, for others. We are called to reflect the sacred each and every day. So why not a star? Some bright star shines in the heavens each time a child is born. Who knows what it may foretell? Who knows what uncommon life may yet unfold if only given the chance? We are called to reflect the sacred each and every day. And this morning, our lesson is brought to us part in song and part in story. And I'll invite Rachel to come up and Megan to tell us about the time that the children came.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy night.
For so the children come, and so they have been coming, always the same way they come, born of the seed of loving parents.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy
No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise men see a star to show them where to find the babe that will save humankind.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy night.
Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Fathers and mothers, sitting beside their children's cribs, feel glory in the sight of new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end?
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy night.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy night.
And we do hold here that each night a child was born is indeed a holy night. And at Throop, we honor the holiness and wholeness of the youngest among us by our Kids Dig In program. Today, it's led by Lynn Weber. And we invite children and any parents or guardians or loving adults that want to go with them to do so. And congregation, we sing them into their program. Those words are in your order of worship.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
Today's pondering is The Stars Are Dancing by Om Prakash. The stars are dancing tonight while the moon sits in her golden hammock, swaying back and forth to the rhythm of celestial voices. The beloved is full of rapture, dancing worlds and stars into being, drunk with the wine of passion and filling the heavens with song. Do not sit alone in the dark while creation sings three-part harmony. Dance, my friends, dance willfully, sing joyfully, fill your hearts with the beauty of the beloved, as the beloved turns your soul to light.
Within the shining of a star, we catch a glimpse of who we are. In every infant born we see the hope of our nativity. The miracle of each new birth can shake and save the stony earth. Triumphantly the newborn's cry strikes echoes from the waiting sky. Within the shining of a star, we catch a glimpse of who we are. In every infant born we see the hope of our nativity.
This church is ours, and we support it through our gifts of time and talent and treasure. You can give online. The ways to do that are in the order of worship, or Steve will put it in the live stream chat. If you're here with us in the room, you can make an offering in person with Teresa. The plate will come down the aisle in just a minute. You can use one of the green offering envelopes that's in the little pew back in front of you. If you would like your gift to count toward your pledge, please indicate that on the envelope. And if you are a first-time visitor, we ask that you let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you so much for all the ways you support our Throop community life, and the morning offering will now be gratefully received.
I'll never have the power to control the land, or conquer half the world, or claim the sun. I'll never be the kind who simply waves her hand and has a million people do the things I wish I'd done. But in the eyes of heaven, my place is assured. I carry with me heaven's grand design. Gloria, Gloria, I will sing the name of the Lord, and He will make me shine. And I will be like Mother Mary, with a blessing in my soul, and I will give the world my eyes so they can see. And I will be like Mother Mary, with a blessing in my soul, and the future of the world inside of me. In the eyes of heaven, my place is assured. I carry with me heaven's grand design. Gloria, Gloria, I will sing the name of the Lord, and she will make me shine. And I will be like Mother Mary, for the future of the world. For the future of the world. Inside of me.
In a spirit of deep gratitude for all that is held in each of you and the many gifts that you share, and thank you for that, Rachel. We lift up our thanks to all of those that are supporting our worship service this morning, everyone from Steve over on live stream to Ripley and Marissa for offering words and worship, Teresa for being the greeter and usher, Lynn leading our children's program, Cynthia on coffee and conversation, Megan on music, Valerie for all of your great administrative support, and of course Rachel for your gift of your beautiful voice this morning. Thank you. And as we give thanks for all the ways that we all hold possibility in each of us and release it out in the community to do good works, we share together in the response to our offering, and those words are in the order of worship. For the ministries of the church and our community, we bless our offering with love and hope. And in this time of year when it seems as if heaven and nature truly are singing, whether it is through a sunshiny day or singing through the raindrops this morning, we also share in the words to our promise to our planet. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself. And into this delightfully chilly sanctuary this morning, I see you with your coat and hat still on in here. I invite you to take a gentle breath in together and to exhale. And just as you're able to find a comfortable spot in these 99-year-old pews that you're in, to try to find a posture that feels relaxing or gives you a sense of ease. And to open one hand on your lap and to put a hand on your heart. And if you feel comfortable, gently closing your eyes to do that. And again, to just take an intentional breath in and exhale. If your mind is full of whatever you forgot to do on your way into the building or on your way into the live stream, if your mind is full of what awaits you when you leave here, whether it's packing boxes or seeing a friend or taking care of your Monday to-do list, those things are just always in our minds, and just tell them thank you for giving you gentle reminders, and maybe ask them to relax a little bit right now. Imagine that in your heart or mind that you are seeing particles of light glinting in today's rain, showering you gently in slow motion. The reflection from the light dancing on your face, glinting in your eye, perhaps moving through and coalescing on the hand that you have open. When all the light that you could see or imagine, when you're holding it lightly in your open palm, imagine that it starts slipping through your fingers, moving across your body and your heart and your belly down to your toes. And imagine as you take a breath in that you too are filled with light. And know that you are not alone in the world. And let this reflection of light that surrounds you be an anointing of peace through which you can see your own inward journey, through which you make meaning in your life. We are each of us deep wells of the sacred, and may we be refilled in ways that can help us create peace in ourselves, peace in others, and peace in the world. Breath of life and breath of love, we give thanks for this present moment as we take in this feeling of peace around us. May we be a reflection of the light of the universe, expanding our own sacred knowing. Amen and blessed be.
When I was a child each week, on Sunday we would go to church and pay attention to the priest. They would read the holy word and consecrate the holy bread, and everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine, and I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. And an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I'm walking with the reverend air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. and say it's not a sacrament. I'll tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I'm walking with the Reverend there, 'cause everything is holy now.
This time of year, the stars are dancing and filling the heavens with song. Their light shines on a world in which we can see the sacred and holy reflected in all creation around us, if only we will take a moment and pause and pay attention to it. We honor the magic and miracle of this season with parties and caroling and gift giving. And some of you go the extra mile and show your holiday spirit by proudly wearing your ugly holiday sweater, of course. Hello? Of course. It turns out that Jake, our intern minister, loves these, and Jake has quite the collection of ugly holiday sweaters. He showed me a picture of them, and he's got stacks kind of all laid out. He had so many that he couldn't do a regular picture, but he had to do one of those panorama photos with his phone. And so this picture of sweaters, it's this explosion of colors and pattern and gaudiness, and also showing images of kitties and llamas, and there's a Snoopy on there. And last Tuesday, he came in with a sweater that said, "I believe in Santa and unicorns." And I was just like, how did unicorns get woven into the magic of the Christmas tale? Like, are we going to have a unicorn on Christmas Eve with our Throop creche that we put together? Terry, you have a task in front of you. Find a unicorn for our creche. And who else in the room has a love of these holiday sweaters? Anyone? Megan? I was hoping somebody might have one on today. Maybe you're hiding it underneath your coat. And I'm curious, there are so many Instagram kitties that now have them too. Like, how do their humans get these sweaters on their cats? Mine would absolutely leave the property. These sweaters started out in the 1950s as sweaters known as Jingle Bell sweaters, and they were actually a little bit more subtle than the ones we know today. They would have like subtle colors and patterns with diamonds and reindeer on them. But of course, the 1980s rolled around, and that's what happened to these sweaters. It was the 80s. And so all of a sudden, you see these 1980s holiday pictures with people in these garish colors, and it was like the bigger, the bolder, the better. These sweaters are beloved by many people, whether or not you believe in Christmas or Hanukkah or solstice, or whether you just accept the fact that we're in a winter season. This month, we are surrounded by and falling into these big stories that remind us that in this time of darkness and stillness, that the light will indeed return to us. In Pasadena, we see this story told in the snowflakes that are projected around Old Pasadena. We see it told in the delicately lit reindeer that are all along Lake Avenue. And we see it told in the lush, beautiful, lit tree that is in Pasadena City Hall, right under the entry archway. However, of course, the Christian Christmas story is the one that dominates this time of year. And even those of us that don't really buy into the Christian Christmas story, we may eagerly wait for our first listen of Handel's Messiah. We may tenderly lay out that creche that was given to us by a grandparent. Or maybe we cannot wait to go into a candlelight Christmas Eve service to sing Silent Night with others by the light of a flickering candle flame. At Christmas time, we find meaning in a story that is told all around the world. The meaning of a baby born and held in great joy and reverence. Theologian Karen Armstrong writes about the ways we humans come to understand the world. And she says there are two primary ways that we think, speak, and acquire knowledge. And these two ways are mythos and logos. And she urges us in our lives to find a balance between those two. She says that mythos is what is considered ongoing and timeless. It's these things that help us explore meaning in our own lives, who we are, what we are meant to do, how we are, who we are. And she says that we need good myths that help us realize the importance of compassion, that remind us of how important it is to think beyond ourselves, because too often our human selves get constrained by our egocentricities. And we need myths to help us venerate all of creation as sacred. And then on the other end of things, logos is considered with those things that are facts. They help us reach our goals. They help us make something happen. It enables us to function. And so thinking about especially the Christmas story, whether or not it's something that really sparks our heart or not, I imagine these two ways of understanding it, that we understand that there's a myth of it and there's this logos part of it. And I imagine them as yarns knit together to create a sweater. And one tangled bit of yarn represents the well-known elements of the story. These things that tell us that God was born in the form of a tiny, sweet, round little baby. And that this little baby was born on December 25th, and somehow the mother was a virgin, and this baby was born in a manger, that there was no other room for this family on this night. And that as the birth was taking place, a mysterious star appeared in the sky. And for some, that sweater feels really good. We're just going to roll with it. That's what the story says, and that's what the carols sing, and we watch these things on, TV, and it's like, yeah, that's all right. We can do it. And then for some of us, maybe through your studies, maybe you started delving into sacred text. Maybe you began to interpret things in a different way. And at some point, maybe those elements of the story, they just made you ponder and wonder and question. And when you did that, that once cozy sweater started feeling too tight. It was itchy, got really uncomfortable, and you decided, you know what, this is just not working for me anymore. I'm not even going to wear this sweater out in public. No way. And so you slowly started to tug at the threads of your sweater. And another one, and another one. And sure enough, that once beautiful sweater just started to unravel. But of course, it's cold at Christmas time. It's cold in the sanctuary. I could not get the heat to come on this morning, and I tried 3 times. All right, I persevere, but I couldn't get it to come on. And even here in California, we have California coldness. So you don't want to be left out in the cold without a sweater, right? You need something to warm you up. And at some point, you may have asked yourself, why not this story? Why not this star? Some bright star shines somewhere in the heavens each time a child is born. We need to knit a new sweater for ourselves because this time of year is important. We cannot ignore it. We can't pretend like it's not happening. And it's important because life can be really, really hard sometimes. Some of you are coming into worship this morning and your heart is broken into a million pieces, and you absolutely aren't sure if you're ever going to be able to put all those pieces back together again. And you won't put them back together again ever in the exact same way. Some of you are holding a huge amount of tension and worry and concern for someone in your care. You desperately want them to be okay, and you know that that is out of your control. You cannot worry them into being okay. And there are others of you in the room who are wondering if your current housing is secure. And if it's not, where in the world will you go? Pasadena is your home, your community. There are so many worries and hurts and wounds that we carry, and that's not even looking outside of ourselves. And then carrying concern for the wounds and hurts that are held in the world that we want to do something about. We need to give meaning to this moment because in our lives we do need the messages of Christmas. We need to remember that in the midst of so much that we hold, there is also in our other hand, there are moments of joy and peace and hope and love. Howard Thurman, 20th century theologian, wrote that Christmas is a mood, a symbol, a quality. Christmas is never merely a fact. As a fact, it's a date on the calendar. To the believer, it is the anniversary of an event in human history. An individual may relate themselves meaningfully to the fact or to the event, but that's not Christmas. So what is it? If we in this room, if you don't believe that God was born into the flesh of a baby, if you don't believe that that baby was born in a manger by the light of a mysterious star, then what do we have? Thurman shares the meaning of Christmas for him. Christmas is a memory of other days when into one's path an angel appeared, spreading a halo over an ordinary moment. It is the fullness with which fruit ripens, blossoms into flowers. It is the richness of vibrant colors. It's the cry of life in a newborn babe. It is the promise of tomorrow at the close of the day, the movement of life and defiance of death, and the assurance that love is sturdier than hate, that good is more permanent than evil. In my own version of a holiday sweater, the primary thread running through it was time spent always with my mom. When my mom was alive, that thread meant getting on a plane and heading back to Arkansas. It meant doing last-minute shopping with her and setting the table with her china with the little pink roses all around the rim. She died in 2020, and so I'm still searching for new yarn to blend into the sweater, new memories, ways to create new traditions and rituals. And I keep thinking, what was the heart of that I had with my mom? It wasn't the Christian Christmas story, which really we never talked about, even though she was Methodist. It definitely wasn't an idea of winter solstice, which I had never heard of growing up in Arkansas. But it was this time out of time spent with my mom, when the only expectation of me and her was just this deep connecting and doing the most ordinary things of life. Cooking pinto beans, making cornbread, decorating the tree. As you weave your own holiday sweater, what color are the threads you are putting in it? What patterns are you creating? What are you keeping from the past? What are you weaving into from the present? And what do you hope for in the future? I hope as you create it that you'll add in some shiny, metallic, maybe even slightly gaudy thread into the sweater that reflects the sacred in all things and that reflects the sacred in you. May you make meaning out of this moment that comes once a year. May the dancing of the bright stars, may the rays of the sunshine bring the peace of winter evenings and peace and good tidings. May we all have joy in this world. I invite you to rise as you wish to sing our closing hymn, which is Joy to the World, number 245.
Joy to the world, the word is come. Let earth with praises ring. Let every heart prepare a room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, now gladness reigns. Let hearts their songs implore, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. No more let sins and sorrows grow, nor thorns invest the ground. The righteousness its glory show, as far as love is found, 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 as far as love is found.
Place a hand on your heart and reach out a hand to someone in the room or on the live stream. Our chalice is extinguished. We carry its light with us. In the days to come, when you see the twinkling of the lights or when you notice sunlight dancing on a surface, let these be signs that the light is received again and again in and through this world, in and through your own actions, in and through the love and care you have to give. I love you all. Go out and love the world. Amen. And blessed be. And join us for coffee and conversation following the service.
There we go. There's the happy one.